Line to Itay Sadeh in this incredible brand new build. It is an M2 kitted car, 3.4 litre stroker, 2JZ as Itay Sadeh, when he wowed us all in 2024, what can he do in 25 when he said he's coming back this time for a podium? Puts the car right where it needs to be. This young man is absolutely flying. A little shallow on that inside zone, but it doesn't matter as he fixed the car to angle. Down the hill he goes, picks up that zone just about and across the line.
Yeah, another driver really starting to use that bit of angle to make sure the inside clip, you know,
together. It's so
you're
great.
having to
right, back on the line, Itay Sadeh off in a brand new car, 1,000 horsepower, BMW M2, through the gears he goes. This young man showed incredible resilience and talent last season. He's going to go wide. Oh, he just about keeps it on circuit, uses that momentum to fire it across the circuit. You can hear him on the rev limiter as he lights up the tyres on the back of that BMW, fires through, looks down the track, he comes, dials on some nice big angle, almost 90 degrees. Again, just about scrubs a wheel along that inner clip and across the line.
I feel like the last things he said before to his spotter before he left the line is, hey, what's the difference between filling the zone and, you know, hitting the wall? So,
well, this is just going to be for clarification, and it's job done already for Itay Sadeh. All he has to do is initiate on that first corner. He doesn't need to make a full pass of the circuit. He has to prove that car works, and he can initiate, and he did that, so he will advance through to the top 16. But again, this track is throwing up some real surprises.
And the track surface itself is quite nice. Like, it's not overly aggressive. It's not tearing the tires to shreds.
Find out who has got what it takes as they come off the line. It will be Pontus Hartmann to chase down Itay Sadeh. Two BMWs, two similar power plants. And what have they got as they throw down? Look at this from Itay Sadeh already on the throttle. Big flick to initiation as he fires down now, scrubs some speed, a little shallow on the entry to outside zone 4. Pontus Hartmann has to shallow up the angle, almost got it wrong there and got himself into the wall. He's now losing ground on the young man as Itay Sadeh puts foot to floor, gets that final outside zone across the line. To go now, the anti-lag kicks in as the green light is shown and they are off and through the gears. And look at Itay Sadeh as he looks for the back bumper of that BMW E46. A big clutch kick from Pontus Hartmann. He tries as much as he can to avoid, but he can't get away. He's trying to shortcut the circuit, and now look where that's put Itay Sadeh way out of formation. Hartmann up into the wall, and Itay Sadeh gets himself back into the fight. Little tag onto the door from Itay Sadeh. He's still coming into this one swinging. But that was a big mistake from both drivers. I'll be interested to see how the judges see that.
Yeah, this is...
Falvey would love to win, but Itay Sadeh has been away in the off-season. He's got new machinery. He's dialed in his focus, but Falvey has a lot behind him. He has a whole wealth of experience on the sim, behind him, pushing him, and look at it, it's coming through right now as Falvey fires that carbon Kevlar S15 across the track. Itay Sadeh makes a huge mistake, triangulates the track. It's scruffy from Itay Sadeh as Falvey looks rock solid out front. Itay now trying to take a bite out the back of that S15. He jumps onto the rear wheel, gives him a tag, across the line they go.
Yeah, and this actually started as they started coming down the chute.
Biggest achievement so far of their Drift Masters career. Here we go, through the gears they go, tyres smoking already for Itay. And it allows Falvey to get nice and close. Good initiation though, as he starts to pull a gap. Connor Falvey playing this one careful, sticks that qualified line at the moment. Itay on the absolute blinder as he puts it into outside zone 4. Falvey has to shallow up the angle as Itay goes nice and wide. Falvey going to shortcut, drop down the inside, and he does. Nudges the front end of that S15 straight to the door. Understeer again for Falvey.
Same spot as last time
they get the thumbs up from Marcin as the light goes green. It is go. This is for a spot in the final. Who is going to take it through? And these guys absolutely hammered down. Look at this, Kevin Purser observing Itay Sadeh. Says, okay, so you're fast on initiation. He throws a wheel off circuit though, does Kevin Purser. And Itay Sadeh puts that car right to the edge of the track, right on the white line. Purser now starting to gain some ground, finds the side of that BMW 2 Series. They fire through. Big transition, big angle from both guys, but Purser gets it wrong, collects the cone across the line.
Yeah, Itay Sadeh is...
They're off the line, ready to rock and roll. Through the gears they go. As Itay Sadeh falls behind massively now as Kevin Purser puts foot to floor, starts to fire down through the circuit, gets that car set up lovely for outside zone 4. Itay now finds his way in to the door, into the pocket as Kevin Purser fires that car across the circuit down, big angle once again, stands on the throttle, misses that inner clip, up the hill he goes, and Itay just about gets himself in the conversation. So the championship begins for one of these drivers. Who could it be? The light goes green, Itay starts to creep off the line already. Oliver Randalou slams through the gears as BMW goes against BMW. They fire in, identical initiation. Randalou almost straight lines, there's that much grip in the car. He Sadeh has nothing at the moment. He's not in the conversation. Randalou is a man possessed as he puts that car right to the edge of the circuit from angle to angle.
What a way to try and take home the win in your first run.
Who will it be standing on the top step? Let's find out as they go through the gears. Randalou looks across to Itay Sadeh as they fire those cars in. Randalou now loses a little ground as Itay puts a car right to the edge of the circuit, but Randalou goes wide. Wheels over the edge of the circuit. He holds on to it. How did Oliver Randalou hold on to that run? He glues it to the side of Itay Sadeh's 2 Series BMW. They fire through that inner zone as Randalou takes another bite out of the back bumper.
Wow.
Unbelievable scene this weekend. That car taking some damage though this weekend. He's had a few bumps and scrapes with a few other drivers and the walls. That car not looking as fresh as it did, but look at the rate to angle. Flicks that car on big angle as Itay now hammers the throttle through the floor. Opens up all the power from that 2JZ, screams through the circuit as this young man won't be too worried about scratching what is now not a brand new car. Incredible as he gets that car landed perfectly on the circuit, on the throttle once again into that final zone across the line. It certainly does. We go back on the line to Itay Sadeh, second to last qualifier in our qualifying session here in Finland as he fires it through BMW 2 Series 2JZ underneath the bonnet. He's very deep into the wall, but he keeps a hold of it now as Itay Sadeh puts that car right where it needs to be, trying to impress the judges, picks up that inner zone, avoids the outer, but look at that line into the outside zone 4, disposes of the rear bumper as it tries to hold on. All it's got left as he flicks it to the second to last outside zone, up to the wall he goes and across the line.
Oh man, such a sick run.
2 years ago, I've been a regular ever since, and now a full licence holder as they fire through off that start line. You can say Itay Sadeh finds his way down on the inside, down on that front wheel of that big JZX 100 as he now plays with Jarkko Juhla in and out of that long second outside zone as they come firing through the middle of the circuit. Now you see it goes full dry. Look at this line though from Jarkko Juhla. He can deal with these conditions. The Finnish drivers adapt him well, and a big mistake there from Itay Sadeh as he hits the front wheel, and it looks like he's broken the steering as Jarkko Juhla tries to deal with it, but it's completely upset his line.
Yeah, really interesting. I mean, Itay Sadeh had a ton of speed coming in there, but Jarkko Juhla almost
replicas, right? As he comes off the line. Itay Sadeh doing an incredible job at round 1 now, looking for a little bit of redemption, looking good this weekend as he flicks that car to angle. Very nice line at the moment for Itay Sadeh, but he grabs a load of understeer and he's going to just about keep it out of the wall. Wow, and what a save from that young man. Now, what has happened down there? Is there something on the circuit? Popped off the beam, looks like the team have obviously got it fixed. He's back out on the track, needs to score, as we say, a 79 now or more to get himself into that show. Fires that car on a big angle, catches loads of understeer. He's gone super wide. Itay Sadeh bleeding some points now. The man that was on the podium at round 1 now puts himself in a sticky situation, starts to bleed even more points on that outside zone. Looks for the wall, looks for that outside zone, works his way into it now, finds himself into the groove, puts his foot to the floor. Can he redeem anything from that one?
That is battling.
Well, I said it earlier on, these young guys, they've got that hunger in them, they've got the blood pumping through the veins, they want the wins. Conor Shanahan a little older now, a little wiser, as he fires this Toyota GT86 to angle over the hill at Mondello Park, and look at that, perfectly timed on the initiation. Itay Sadeh mistimes the transition, puts himself on the inside of the track, his wheels on the grass, it's all over the show for Itay Sadeh, as Conor Shanahan now places that GT86 right where it needs to be, sets himself up on the wall, finds the outside zone. Itay Sadeh gets back in the fight, back on the door, but it's already lost points for Itay. Nothing more than to get himself into that top 16, knowing already that Randalou is in that big show. They come through the gears over the hill. Look at this, Shanahan on the back bumper of Itay Sadeh. He knows this young man is a very talented driver. A little bit of separation, but Shanahan knows he doesn't have to go too hard. Goes for a nice transition though on the back bumper of that BMW 2 Series. As Shanahan puts the GT86 right where it needs to be. Look at the way he's waiting to time those transitions like a cat waiting to pounce on a mouse as they come through that last outside zone across the line, door to door.
The best and worst part about it.
Sounds very, very good. Itay Sadeh on the podium at round 1, yet to kind of get that feeling back and get back into the zone. A few issues this year, come up against some tough battles as the anti-lag fires flames from underneath the car. Sadeh into the zone, fires through, down, very fast transition. Itay on an absolute screamer this weekend. That line is beautiful so far. Can he hold on to it? He certainly can. He's going to go very wide there. It's a nice line from Itay as he dabs the handbrake, sets himself up for this outside zone. Very fast pass of the circuit from this young man as he gets it across the line.
Yeah, this is, there it is, another one. I don't know if we're keeping track at home or not, but hopefully somebody is.
Should have had a hydro before he leaves the line. He gets a green light, ready to go, sitting in third place at the moment, 93.5. Can he test the top? Can he top qualifying? You know he's got it in him as he fires that car in right to the edge of the circuit on the foot brake. A little down, look at that, both rear wheels in that first outside zone. Nice line as he now comes through. Look at that, barely any movement on that steering wheel as he collects that outside zone. This is very good from Itay Sadeh as he goes right to the edge of the circuit. Once again, a nice line now in this last outside zone on the throttle, nice and early. Flirting with danger, but not too close to the wall to cause an upset as Itay Sadeh brings it across the line. Now, sits in that chase position. Itay Sadeh, higher qualified, decides to lead first. They scream through the gears. It's going to be BMW versus GT86 as they fire it in, and a nice initiation from Fionn Roche and from Itay Sadeh as they both get into it. Good transition back now as Fionn Roche loses little ground, finds himself on the inside, but they go wide for the outside zone. Fionn Roche goes for the dive on the inside now, comes back across the circuit as Itay Sadeh leads him into this last outside zone. Fionn Roche waiting to make that move, waiting to make that dive as he clutch kicks that GT86 onto the door.
Yeah, solid run from both these drivers. I mean, big up to
more of a straight line approach down onto that circuit as they come through the gears off the start line. Fionn Roche now to lead out Itay Sadeh as they hammer through the gears. Fionn Roche lighting up the tyres of that GT86 already. Big handbrake drag, sets himself up nicely for the outside zone though. Itay Sadeh starts to tuck himself into formation, goes for the transition. Fionn Roche on a very nice lead line though, goes deep into the outside zone, back he goes across the circuit. Itay Sadeh no answer at the moment though, needs to clean this one up, needs to get himself into the pockets on the inside of the circuit. Fionn Roche absolutely flying in this last outside zone as Itay Sadeh goes for the door, the front wheel across the line.
Wow, that
850 horsepower. Car been flying so far, ripped the diff out of the car in practice. They've got a brand new diff in the back of it. Will it hold on? They were struggling to find some hardware to hold it in there. Looks like they've got it working so far as he stands on that throttle nice and early, puts the back end where it needs to be. As you can hear, Itay Sadeh now on the throttle, opens that thing up, wakes up that 1,000 horsepower. He puts it on the edge of the circuit, right to the wall goes Itay Sadeh, fires through, looks down for outside zone 5. Look at that, the reflection of the tail light on the wall for me will never get boring here in Germany as he goes for that final outside zone and across the line.
Yeah, driver who started off this season incredibly strong and then
focused as he stares down the track. Lights off the tyres off the start line, starts to work his way through the gears as he flicks to angle, looks for outside zone 1, nice handbrake initiation, gets himself down there on anti-lag now on throttle, nice and early, picks up the back wheels and starts to spin them up as he gets through and looks for outside zone 4, perfectly on that white line, in there nice and early, full throttle as Itay Sadeh dabbles on the foot brake, fires a car for outside zone 5, tail light towards the wall as Itay Sadeh fires it through, looks for the final outside zone towards the wall and across the line. It won't be long, it will be at 2026 round 1, so here we go. We're off the line through the gears. It's going to be Poland chasing down Itay Sadeh as he fires in that GR86, a shallow line, and look at this from Jakub Przykocki though, a weird line as he takes it to the door, tries to almost hit the front wheel of Itay Sadeh. They get into this outside zone as now Jakub Przykocki gets himself into formation. They come through outside zone 4, nice transition back from Itay as he puts it into the outside zone. Przykocki onto the door, onto the side, that BMW 2 Series, and fires it across the line.
Yeah, Itay,
there we go, back on the line and to lead him out. Jakub Przykocki now through the gears in that GR86. B58 underneath the bonnet, flicks it to angle already. As he now gets in there and he fails to get to outside zone 1 again, and this is odd from Przykocki, and now Itay Sadeh can see a wounded deer in front of him and he's going to go for the kill as he fires through, leaves him some room to transition as Itay Sadeh shallows up the angle, goes for the front wheel. Przykocki on a nice wide line, opens the door into outside zone 5, and now Itay on the inside of the circuit, nowhere to be found, and now makes a dive for the final outside zone.
Scrappy, as we like to say, that was a scrappy run.
What can we do right here in Germany under the lights in the melting pot as they get the green light to go? It's going to be Więcek through the gears. Oh, and sparks are up from the back of Więcek's car already. Fires into initiation. On the throttle he goes as Itay Sadeh gets lost in a cloud of dust. Can he catch up? Can he make a shortcut? As Więcek fires it towards the wall. Itay Sadeh now starting to rein in the champion as he fires it through, almost takes a back end off the Supra. Itay starts to get himself into the pocket as Więcek takes it to the wall across the line.
Itay Sadeh just throwing caution to the wind and just going at this.
We'll see. Here we go. Light goes green and they are good to go as the other headlight pops into action off the line. They come through the gears. Itay Sadeh to lead out. The other Więcek as they fire into outside zone 1, and Więcek's glued to him and he gives him the room for outside zone 2. Now Więcek starts to make the kill, starts to dive onto the door of the young man as he fires into outside zone 4. Look at this. Więcek trusts him, puts the car right where it needs to be, squeezes Itay Sadeh into the zones, makes a brave dive as Więcek once again goes for the door of the BMW W2 Series and pushes him across the line.
I mean, that is a massive amount of respect that Piotr just showed to Itay Sadeh. That is huge.
BMW E46 with this F22 M2 body kit on the car, 850 horsepower, 2JZ. As he flicks that car into angle. Itay Sadeh on the podium at round 2 in Spain. And what can he do this weekend? Looking to get himself climbed back up, maybe inside that top 10 of the championship before the end of the weekend as he works his way around outside zone 4. But a little scruffy there from Itay Sadeh, maybe not the line he needed to take for outside zone 4. Now gets himself across the circuit into outside zone 6, trying to find the wall, but not too close as Itay Sadeh on that foot brake, and he's way deep and shallow. He's wandering and wavering out in outside zone 7. The second run underway as he comes off the line in this BMW E46 with the F22 body kit. Fires that car in. Looks good so far on first outside zone. Can he feel a little bit more confident on this run as he collects the inner zone, flicks the car to angle? Nicely done from Itay Sadeh as he now puts the back bumper into the wall and along this long outside zone 4. Itay Sadeh working his way around the circuit, looks for outside zone 5 and collects it perfectly as he goes for outside zone 6. It's a nice line from Itay. Not too heavy on the foot brake this time, but he shallows up the angle. Can he hold on to it? He can, but he's shallow on 7 again across the line.